Every day, a light is extinguished in India. The epidemic of rape has become a horrific norm, and despite the 2012 legislation aimed at combating this, little has changed. India remains stuck in a time where parents urge their daughters to protect their honor but fail to teach their sons to respect women. In West Bengal, specifically in Kolkata, lies the R.G. Kar Medical College and Hospital. Back in 2016, a cook named Sanjay Roy was employed there. Sanjay Roy is at the center of a major incident that later unfolded. His family at the time consisted of his mother, sister, and a wife he eventually divorced. Earning his livelihood as a cook, Sanjay mysteriously disappeared from the college one day without informing anyone. His absence as a mere cook didn't raise much concern, so no investigation took place. For the next 3 years, Sanjay Roy remained untraceable. Then, in 2019, he resurfaced by joining West Bengal's civic volunteer force. Faced with a manpower shortage, the West Bengal police established the Civic Volunteer Force in 2012. The government brought in civic volunteers temporarily to assist the police with various tasks, compensating them with Rs 12,000 for their work. Initially, Sanjay Roy was placed in the disaster management group. Through strategic networking and currying favor with politicians, he managed to transfer himself to the welfare cell of the Civic Volunteer Force. The welfare cell, which included hospitals, provided Sanjay with opportunities to secure free beds and admissions, from which he earned significant money. This led many corrupt civic volunteers to desire positions within this cell. Upon transferring to this department, Sanjay began visiting government hospitals daily and accumulated a substantial income. His regular visits to R.G. Kar Medical College went unchecked, where he secured free beds for patients and earned money. Eventually, Sanjay Roy found himself in the 4th Battalion of Kolkata Police, as the welfare cell fell under its jurisdiction. With his previous experience in boxing and handling security, he gained a thorough understanding of R.G. Kar Medical Hospital and continued to exploit his position for personal gain. Due to this, he was assigned to handle security at the emergency gate and trauma ward of R.G. Kar Hospital. But his main focus was to provide beds and earn money and commissions like a broker. And additionally, Sanjay Roy would solicit money from new students to make them civic volunteers. Just like Congress has NSUI and BJP has ABVP, the Trinamool Congress has a student wing called Trinamool Chhatra Parishad, which held significant sway over the student union of R.G. Kar Medical College and had a considerable influence on its annual student elections. Sanjay ingratiated himself with the prominent leaders of this student wing, securing a strong connection with them. The Police Welfare Board, consisting of a central committee of 14 members, worked for the welfare of police officers' families. Sanjay's connections were so strong that he was included in this welfare network. It is rumored that his influence led to the transfer of many police officers, including 6 from Tala Police Station and Shyam Bazar Police Station, a fact even reported by the Times of India, though no action was taken subsequently. In 2020, Sanjay Roy was even allocated a barrack at the hospital, typically reserved for police constables of C rank, which belonged to ASE Anup Dutta, but was used by Sanjay Roy. It is believed that he was very close to ASE Dutta. You might have seen footage recently of ASE Dutta running while the media pursued him. He is also currently under investigation. Sanjay Roy received 5 liters of petrol daily for his bike, 12,000 plying from his work, and substantial under-the-table payments by arranging free beds at the hospital. Thus, he enjoyed multiple benefits. In 2021, a significant change occurred at R.G. Kar Hospital. Dr. Sandeep Ghosh was appointed as the new principal. Before this, Dr. Ghosh was the vice president of National Medical College, but faced numerous allegations, which led to his transfer to R.G. Kar Medical College. As the new principal, the deputy superintendent of 16 years, Akhtar Ali, made statements which were also recorded. During that period, his influence was quite significant, extending even to the hospital premises. Unimpeded by any security personnel, he could freely move around, entering any ward, accessing any floor, and choosing any room at will. In 2022, he remarried smoothly. However, shortly after the wedding, signs of domestic violence emerged in his behavior. Similar to his treatment of his first wife, he began mistreating his new spouse. The situation escalated when, during her 3-month pregnancy, he resorted to physical abuse, neglecting her health when she developed a fever. Despite her condition, the abuse persisted. Subsequently, a complaint was lodged against him at the police station, instigated by the girl's mother. Yet, as no action followed, the mother eventually retrieved her daughter, withdrawing the complaint. Tragically, the second wife also met a grim fate, enduring mistreatment that even affected the unborn child she carried. The incidents were reported to the authorities, leading to a report being filed at the Kalagar police station. Moving to 2023, while Sanjay Roy was leading a comfortable life, the principal of RG Kar College faced turmoil. By June 2023, allegations of corruption and financial malpractice surfaced, implicating the principal in illicit activities, including accusations of human organ trafficking. The root of these claims was attributed to an investigation by Dibal Kumar Ghosh, a special secretary in the Bengal Health Department. Reports detailed the alleged collusion between the college principal, Dr. Sandip Ghosh, and a contractor, accusing them of financial irregularities in construction projects and a secret agreement for bidding processes. Moreover, suspicions of fraudulent activities involving biomedical waste disposal within RG Kar Hospital were raised. As per the reports, the principal was implicated in mishandling biomedical waste, which, unlike regular waste, includes hazardous materials like used syringes and oxygen masks, requiring proper disposal methods to avoid risks to public health. A woman, harassed by Sanjay Roy, eventually lodged a complaint at Lal Bazar police station in Kolkata, where the police headquarters is located. Subsequent investigations, including scrutinizing Roy's call records and mobile device, confirmed the harassment allegations. Despite the evidence supporting charges of harassment under the Indian Penal Code (IPC) and breach of trust, Roy's position as a civic volunteer was not terminated as mandated by the rules due to undisclosed reasons. Roy's unchecked behavior escalated due to lack of repercussions from previous incidents, leading to further misconduct. While the woman's complaint did not yield significant consequences, it did cease Roy's harassment. However, a week later, another complaint surfaced, this time from a female doctor accusing Roy of inappropriate behavior, revealing a pattern of violence and confrontation towards women. The victim involved in the RG Kar Medical College incident was pursuing her MD in the second year, following completion of her MBBS. Hailing from a modest background, she was the sole focus of her parents' aspirations. Facing challenging working conditions, resident doctors, including the victim, dedicated themselves to extensive hospital duties. Preparing to become a doctor, the victim's family eagerly awaited her MD graduation at RG Kar College. By August 2024, Sanjay Roy, a civic volunteer, ventured to Kharagpur on an errand during the initial week of the month. Upon his return on August 8th, the day marked a fateful turn of events at the hospital. Roy, entering the hospital to admit a patient acquainted with him, appeared to also target the victim, as evidenced by CCTV footage. Engaging in hospital activities, Roy's actions culminated in attending to the same patient's X-ray requirements before exiting the hospital premises. The woman had to come after he even threatened her. When the woman was left with no choice and felt very worried, she then filed a complaint at the Lal Bazar police station. At Lal Bazar, the Kolkata police headquarters, upon receiving the complaint, the police summoned Sanjay Roy. The police uncovered his call data record, CDR, and checked his mobile, revealing that he was indeed harassing her. All the calls were traced by the police. According to the rules, he should have faced harassment charges under the IPC for criminal breach of trust, and he should have been removed from his position as a civic volunteer. However, for unknown reasons, nothing happened to him in this case. Due to these reasons, his audacity grew significantly. If action had been taken against him at that time, the incident that occurred later might not have happened. According to the rules, anyone hired as a civic volunteer should not have a criminal background or any pending cases. However, Sanjay Roy had a previous case filed by his wife for domestic violence, and yet he was retained in his position. Subsequently, a week after this incident, another complaint was lodged against Sanjay Roy for misbehaving with a female doctor. This pattern suggests a history of violence towards women, engaging in fights and arguments with them. Conversely, he has never been reported to argue with a man. The victim of the incident at RG Carr Medical College, after completing her MBBS, was pursuing her MD at the same college in her second year. Following MBBS, doctors typically choose a 3-year post-graduation program, MD, MS, as resident doctors. Resident doctors in India often face challenging working conditions, where the hospital essentially becomes their residence due to the demanding workload. At RG Carr College, there were more than 300 to 400 resident doctors. The victim, a dedicated student pursuing her MD, was the only child of her parents, whose education they supported through hard work. With her father being a tailor, their financial situation was not affluent. The entire family awaited her completion of MD from the college, with only a short period left before she could become a doctor. Additionally, from August 5th to August 8th of the year 2024, Sanjay Roy had to travel to Kharagpur Salwa for a civic volunteer assignment. Upon his return on August 8th, Sanjay Roy committed a grave crime at the hospital. That day, on August 8th, 2024, Sanjay Roy came to the hospital to admit a patient, also a civic volunteer known to him. While at the hospital for this patient's work, he followed the victim as captured on CCTV footage. After admitting the patient, he roamed the hospital and later returned for x-rays related to the same patient, whose surgery was scheduled for 1 o'clock. During the surgery, Sanjay waited behind the hospital boundary wall, drinking alcohol with his friend, the patient. Subsequently, they planned to visit the adjacent red light area named Sonagachi, where his friend entered, leaving Sanjay waiting outside on the road. After some time, he proceeds towards the hospital. It was approximately between 2 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. Meanwhile, the victim had already reached the hospital due to her 36-hour shift, which required continuous work with limited breaks. During this time, she couldn't leave the hospital and had to complete all her activities, including eating and sleeping there. So, she had been at the hospital for the past 36 hours. Around 11 o'clock at night, the victim spoke with her parents, and feeling hungry, she ordered food from outside, along with 2 of her first-year colleagues, Oroko and Sumitra. They then decided to watch Neeraj Chopra's javelin throw live on the TV located on the 3rd floor in the seminar hall. The 3 of them made their way to the seminar hall on the 3rd floor. All of them were from the chest medicine department. They watched the live match on TV together. After it ended, Oroko and Sumitra left the seminar hall while the victim stayed back to study. Around 2 o'clock in the night, a staff member approached the victim in the seminar hall to discuss some aspects of patient treatment before leaving. Everything seemed fine until then. Subsequently, at 2:35 a.m., the victim received a message from her cousin and replied at the same time. At 3 o'clock, another staff member named Golam passed by the seminar hall while the victim was asleep with a red blanket on the mattress in the seminar hall. And at that time, the sleep room was being used for a test of polysomnography sleep disorder, due to which there was no hotel place to sleep. So she slept there itself. She always kept a diary with herself, and she wrote in it before sleeping. So even that day she had a diary, and she wrote that day as well. In this diary, she used to write her future plans. Like she wanted to achieve gold medal from RG Carr College. She wrote names of big hospitals, and she wrote that she wanted to work there in future. So now she was sleeping here in the seminar hall, and the time was around 3:50 a.m., and until this time, Sanjay Roy had reached the hospital. When it was checked in the CCTV, then at this particular time, he was seen entering from the main gate of hospital. Now after this, he looks for his prey in the entire hospital. It's not like he went and saw here coincidentally. Actually, there were different operation theaters, test departments. He looks there if any female patient who is unconscious. So actually he was searching for someone to commit a crime, because it was seen in the CCTV that he went to different rooms and checked. And at 4:03 a.m., he reaches to the 3rd floor and enters the seminar hall. When he was entering the seminar hall, then he had a Bluetooth earpiece around his neck. And due to this Bluetooth device, further, he'll be caught. We'll talk about it in a moment. After reaching at the seminar hall, he looks at the victim and then attacks. He throttles the neck and beats a lot. The victim struggles a lot, He had entered the seminar hall at 4:03 a.m., and in the postmortem, the time after 4:15 has been mentioned for death, which means the struggle took place for a long time, and speeches were given in the seminar hall, and it had soundproofing. So, due to this, whatever noise was there, it couldn't penetrate outside. And after doing this crime, around 4:00 a.m., he comes out of the seminar hall. He stays in the seminar hall for around 37 minutes. And after going from here, he sleeps in the hospital barrack that he got in the campus. He doesn't run anywhere. He didn't have any tension in his mind. Now, when it's morning and Oroko enters the seminar hall, and as soon as he enters, he screams. And after leaving from there, he tells the entire situation to everyone. Only half the clothes were there on the body. There was bruise on the mouth. The spectacles were broken. Blood was oozing out of the eyes. The entire body was covered in bruises. And after this came to light within an hour, that is, between 7:30 a.m., a lot of crowd gathers in the seminar hall. People entered the seminar hall wearing shoes, and the crime scene was completely changed, and fingerprints were placed at different places. And at this time, higher authorities called Sandeep Ghosh. He lived near the hospital, but reached the hospital after about an hour. Instead of complaining to the police immediately, he first saw the seminar hall himself and was heavily criticized for the fact that he should have informed the police about the incident and not checked himself first. Now, after about an hour of this, the principal reached his office, and from there he called the police and informed them, and at the same time, the college superintendent called the victim's family. The victim's mother picked the call and said that your daughter is ill. Please come to the college. He did not say anything other than that and disconnected the phone. Now, after hearing all these things, the victim's parents called again to ask, what happened? They called again, and then according to the parents, the assistant superintendent said that your daughter committed suicide. After hearing all this, the family was shocked and started running towards the college. On the other hand, in the college, around 11:30 a.m., an additional police commissioner and a forensic team reached the crime scene. People were pressing hard for all the proceedings to be done before the judicial magistrate, because they were suspicious about what had happened before. That's why they said that all the proceedings would be done before the judicial magistrate. Now, at the same time, around 12 noon, the parents reached the college, and as soon as they reached there, they said that they wanted to meet their daughter. But they were denied. For 3 hours, they kept trying to see their daughter once, but were denied the opportunity to meet. After that, at 3:30 p.m., the body of their daughter was shown to the parents, and as soon as they saw it, they said that it was not a suicide. How can you say that? Someone had beaten her. Now from here, the doctors left their work and started gathering. Everyone was in a state of anger that such a huge thing had happened to a doctor on duty. Now, since it was 6 p.m., the body was sent for autopsy. At this time, the victim's friend showed her intelligence and said that without video recording, no autopsy would be done. So I demanded it, and as a result, the entire post-mortem was video recorded. And in the initial reports, when it was said which parts of her body were bruised, everyone understood that it was not a case of suicide, but a case of rape and murder. 150 milligrams of semen was found, and on average, an Indian male body cannot produce more than 5 milligrams. So this was not possible, and that is why people started saying that it was a gang rape. Although this theory was later proven to be wrong, it has many other substances. The way this entire situation was handled was seen by the doctors, and they doubted that there's a deep conspiracy in it. Al, these things are being hidden, and the way it's being done isn't correct. All the things had been done, even the post-mortem as well, but nobody filed an FIR. Then, Visitam's father registered the FIR. Students told that even the police were doing everything hurriedly. They quickly cremated the body at the cremation ground. 3 bodies were already in line. Police removed them and started the victim's cremation. And regarding this, people became very angry that what was the rush? Now from here, the politics start. People were very angry, and the government understood that all the things would be out of their control if it is not handled properly. So police department is directly told to arrest the accused whatsoever the condition. From here, the police started investigating deeply. When the police arrived at the crime scene, then they found a Bluetooth earpiece there. And from here, the police started looking at all the CCTV cameras of college. There wasn't a camera in the seminar hall, but there was a camera at both the entry and exit lobbies of the seminar hall. And the police started checking who went in and went out of the seminar hall after 3 o'clock. And at that time, police sees Sanjay Roy entering the seminar hall, and police doubts him the most because he was the only one who wasn't a doctor and went into the seminar hall, and after it's too late at night. Along with it, after 3 o'clock, the victim and Sanjay Roy were in the seminar hall for the longest period of time. After Sanjay Roy spent 37 minutes in the seminar hall, while he was exiting, then the Bluetooth earpiece that was there around his neck while entering wasn't there while getting out. Because of this, the police became suspicious of him and went to his barracks. He had washed and changed his clothes. After that, he was sleeping there quietly. When the police took the Bluetooth headset near his mobile phone, it was connected. Then he was taken for interrogation, and he began to tell everything without any fear. When his mobile phone was checked, they found violent pornographic content. His complete search history was filled with these things. Now, these things were going on, and in college, the principal said that, why did the victim go to the seminar hall alone? So regarding this, people became even more angry, and the doctors start protesting at small scale regarding these things until 11th August. They even started the resignation of the principal that his link would be found, and students were saying on record that the evidence is deliberately destroyed. In RG Carr College, nothing is done properly. There is a problem with it for sure. And the most shocking thing in it was that, on one hand, such a huge case was committed, and at the same time, in the same floor, 20 m away from the seminar hall, management started the construction the next day. The government and principal faces so much criticism that the principal resigns. But instead of accepting his resignation, he was transferred to a national medical college and hospital in Kolkata. It was seen as a promotion that on the one hand, so much has happened, and he was put in another good college in the same position. In this entire situation, the way principal handled the situation, instead of punishing him, why is he given promotion? He is sent to even better medical colleges. And along with it, High Court said one more thing, that authority wasn't standing along with the victim's family. And then looking at all these things, this case, writ petition, was transferred to CBI on 13th August. Now, in this situation, the protest was under government control. But the next day, that is 14th August, there was a student of Presidency College, Rimjim Sinha. She posted on Facebook that all the people should gather in 8B bus stand, Jadavpur at night. A peaceful protest was to be held by the name Reclaim the Night, regarding women's safety so that the victim gets justice. Regarding all these, a protest was to be held. Now, it became such a protest where a lot of crowd had gathered. This was the time when the matter went from college to Kolkata and then the entire India. And many problems started arising for Moumita Banerjee as well. These were some demands that they asked during protest. Now, when this protest was going on and going out of control, the problems started arising for the government. Then 7,000, 8,000 unknown people broke the barricading and jumped over the boundary of RG Carr Hospital, enter into the campus. MRI machine is broken and CCTV footage is broken. People who were protesting had to run. The girls in the hostel get even more worried than what is happening. And along with this, the unknown people were even trying to enter the third floor where this crime took place. Police also couldn't do anything. Instead of doing something, police hid in the toilet. See this? They hampered in this way. Now, the matter here was that the students who are protesting, who will be facing a problem with this, who will send to rupture this protest. So due to this, things got worse, and the government ought to answer directly. Now, the crowd that gathered, some people were identified from the crowd. Their photo was leaked. The Indian Express published a report in which photos of some people were leaked from the crowd who were found to be linked with TMC. In the first photo, Sumik Das, he used to work for a local TMC leader, Sukanta Sen Sharma. But TMC gave a clarification that who can be a supporter and we don't have any link with it. In the second photo, Rishikant Mishra was seen. He is also a TMC worker, along with a building material supplier. Similarly, Subhodip Kundu and the one standing before him is Soumyadip. Both of them were also found to be linked with TMC. Similarly, Tulsi Haldar is also from TMC. So similarly, names of more people came to light who were found to be linked with TMC. So from here, the crowd became even angrier that they weren't 100 to 200 people, some 1,000 people were there. In a well-coordinated way, in the same place, at the same time, how did they reach the seminar hall? Step by step? Now, regarding the entire protest and the entire situation going on, you might have a question that within 24 hours the accused was caught, the case was also transferred to the CBI, then why are these protests happening? So due to the history of this hospital, the people, students, and doctors don't want to entirely believe in this incident. Due to the history of this hospital, people are saying that it's not that simple. It consists of even deeper conspiracy, which is why a fair inquiry should be done that is not being done. Actually, what happened was, in the year 2001, in Barakpur, lived a boy named Moumita Debnath, who told his parents in the month of August that things are not going right in RG Kar Hospital. Some wrong things are being done here. And then a few days later, that is on 25th August 2021, Moumita Debnath is found hanging from the fan. The case that is going on now, the Kolkata police came in the same way, did some investigation, and in their report, they said that this is a case of suicide. And once they said that this is a case of suicide, the parents clearly disagreed that the boy was happy. He had no problem. This is not a case of suicide. Instead, he was murdered. Sumitra's parents wrote several letters to the government saying that things are not going well in RG Kar College. Something is wrong. Their son cannot do such a thing. Do something about it. And when nothing happens, the parents go to court, and the court looks into everything and then assumes not the CBI investigation, but the CID investigation. The investigation goes on for 2-3 years. In this investigation, several students and friends of Sumitra said in their statement that some powerful people in the RG Kar College syndicate are into pornography. Everyone knows about it, but no one can do anything because they are powerful people. Moreover, it was said that they would invite sex workers from Sonagachi to the college and make pornographic content with them, replacing their pictures with popular heroines. When no one was available, if a fresh female body arrived, they would use it to make a film and sell it. At that time, in the same RG Kar Hospital, the seminar hall and room number 15 were named. It was also said that sometimes the faces of college girls were used. They made their film because it was selling fast. So, even in this case, Moumita Debnath had a friend who had a birthday picture. They took it and made a video of it and started circulating it. Sumitra went to fight over it, and in the same week, in room number 15, he was found hanging from a fan. Regarding these things, when the investigation was on, they also found a room where the CID found a tripod and a light reflector. In today's date, it is still normal, but in 2001, this was not normal. So regarding this, a lot of chaos has been created, but even in this case, no one has been arrested, and this has also been ruled out as a suicide case. That is why, even on today's date, RG Kar College students want a detailed investigation because this case was also linked to suicide, and RG Kar, the college, has a history of joining suicide cases. In 2003, everyone was shocked by the way he lost his life. Later, it was known that he committed suicide. Similarly, in 2016, the body of RG Kar Hospital's department head Gautam Pal was found. Even for them, it was said that he committed suicide. In 2020, even in the Pulomi Saha case, it was said that she did C. There was an intern for whom it was told that she had overdosed. That's why all the people want a detailed inquiry in it, that what is actually going on in the college should be known. Is it coincidence or a deep conspiracy? Now, if I talk about today's date, then CBI had submitted its progress report to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court scolded harshly. It was said that crime scene was altered, so what actually happened will come to light with time. But due to this, people are protesting in different areas in the country. People are scared. Parents are scared of sending their children anywhere. Victim, with whom this incident happened, was a very brave girl. I studied about her. I can't include everything in this video. She was a very brave girl and she took care of her parents a lot. The parents gave interview to BBC. If you read then, you can't even think how wrong has been done with that family. The accused Sanjay Roy had done cruelty against the victim. I deliberately didn't add it in this video because I won't be able to tell it, neither you'll be able to hear it. If you see, it happens every time. Then after some time, people forget it, and then the same thing happens again. So for this, the government should do something for it. They should do something so that these things shouldn't be repeated. And with that, we reach the end of our story for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to stay updated with all our new content. See you next time.